So welcome to part 2. So in part 2 we are going to use Terraform and Docker to run our container. So previously we had this container and it was running beautifully. So the way we started it is by running it like by clicking the index.html. So we had that, and if we go here, this is the port that is running off. If we close the server, we come here, refresh, it won't work. So that is one. The other part, we were using port 88 using Docker. If we come here to our terminal and we do Docker ps, so this is how, let me put it in a readable manner. So this is where we are running our website. Now we need to stop it. We did this in the previous video, part 1. So we need to stop it and then use what we call it, we use Terraform to serve the same website. So we use this command docker stop, then the name of our website, our container, sorry. So we do docker and we do docker ps, no running image, and we're supposed to remove this, but before we remove it, let's go to the interesting part. The interesting part we are doing is we are using now, instead of coming to my terminal and writing all these commands, what if we use Terraform to do that? So to do that we need to use the provider. We need to use provider, and we are using this provider from Docker. So earlier, if we are doing we use provider like say AWS to provide something. So this is how we are doing provider earlier, but now we are using Docker. So you can see it here. So let me remove this. So this is the code we want to locking the version. So that is how. Then the other way we write is we write the resources. As we were writing resources, we give it a name, and also this name stored it in the variables. Here you can change your name, your image name, your container name, and image name. So you store it here. Also your ID, the ID, like this ID, let me show you this container ID, we will get it here. So then the other part is output, and we can do it here, output of container ID. We write container ID, and let's also do the image ID. Thank you TK for subscribing. Thank you so much. So we are saying we want the output of this. So let me set up so I can see maybe the live chat. So we want the output of ID. So now we want to run this sheet. Okay, so we open, this is where we want to Terraform to run the container without us typing anything to do with the Docker command. So we are in that folder. Then what we are supposed to do first is to initialize. Also, it will store the state in, it will store the state here, and I don't want to do that, to do that. So I will come here and use my backend to store the state. This is like the recommended industry way, and the bucket I'm using, this is my S3 bucket I'm using. So let me copy it, main, then this is what I want. Then I use rock key and encrypt. So I think with that we can be able to run our command. So get ready. So we go to our CLI. We type Terraform init. So Terraform init is going to the internet and downloading the Docker, downloading the Docker provider, and storing our state in this S3, and it has done that beautifully. So now we want to run it. We have an error, so let me check this video here. I think I missed something. I think we're supposed to add this. So let's use AI to solve this. So I think we need to add this, and so we add this in our Docker provider. So earlier I was using Colima, and you can see it is still learning. So I think it is complaining because of this. I don't know whether it will still complain, so let's try it again. Let's validate first. Terraform validate. Finger crossed, everything will work alright. Yeah, it is creating the image, but we still have an error. We are saying it is saying unable to create container. Why? Okay, I understand. I had another container running, so Docker, yes. So let's show the images. I can't see it, but let's try to remove it. And we try again. Yes, so we have our container ID, we have our image ID, and our website URL, which if we click, we should have a container which is served through Terraform. So that is very wonderful. So that is how we're going to be able to use Terraform to provision a Docker file, and you can do this without knowing anything to do with Docker. So thank you so much, and thank you for watching